Ascension. It's time we start talking about some of the bigger changes that humanity will have to undergo in our upcoming future. I don't know exactly when, but I genuinely feel this will take place within our lifetimes, and we should do all in our power to begin getting prepared and setting the foundations for our futures. A future filled with freedom. A future led with love. After reading about Ascension in several different books and hearing about it by credible sources like Corey Good, I had to take into consideration everything I've learned, and it all checks out. I need you to know I am not a gullible believer, and that I use logic, reasoning, and a lot of research before I put the puzzle pieces together myself, and see, without a shadow of a doubt, that humanity is not at all what we were taught to believe it is. That the true nature of reality is spiritual, and we are not humans having temporary spiritual experiences, but actually, we are spirits temporarily having a human experience. Now, what is Ascension? It's a very complex event, and I will need to break it down into 3 different parts to even scratch the surface. But I may make a part 2 sometime in the near future. I'll be categorizing it by Earth's polarity shift, humans, and the shift in consciousness. Some of it may get technical, but bear with me. It is worth it to have this awareness, for I, and many credible sources, don't believe we have that much time left. The shift in Earth's polarity is due to its magnetic field shifting on its axis. This creates a weak atmosphere and makes us vulnerable to radiation and solar flashes. This happens about every 25,000 years, and for millennia, civilizations have been predicting when this day would come. Does the Mayan calendar's prediction on 2012 sound familiar? When this magnetic shift takes place, it brings with it what humans will call great destruction. Massive floods, volcanic eruptions, and solar flashes from our sun. It will be the equivalent to doomsday, the end of our civilization as we know it. But it's not all bad. You and I will be okay and safe from all the destruction, and I'll go more in depth about this when I get to the humans category. The Earth will undergo a massive rebirth, and darkness will fall over its once blue skies, and ash will fill the air. But when all of this has fallen, the Creator will come back to this planet and seize it of all its wretches, lies, and all that is evil. He will bear new fruits and begin again of a new earth, teeming with life and harmony. And if you are fortunate enough to ascend, you will be one of the blessed few to inhabit this new, bright jeweled garden of a planet. Now to humans. This topic is not meant to cause any controversy or diversity. We are all truly one, and we are all an extension of each other, and this is an absolute truth for me. When our souls choose to incarnate here as the human beings that we are, we sign up for certain lessons to be learned, and to either shed negative karma or add good karma. Each soul's level of development is different, and this is based on your level of consciousness and what lessons you've learned. There are so-called 7 planes of consciousness, as quoted from the Law of One. However, this fact is relative, and some astral travelers and theosophists have speculated that there are actually 13 planes, but don't get caught up in this. With time and effort, you'll be able to draw from your own experiences. Each of these planes of existence holds their own lessons that need to be learned in order to graduate to the higher planes. This Earth that we are living on at this moment is a 3rd density planet, transitioning into 4th and 5th. It consists of physical matter and duality. The reason this duality takes place is to create a separation between yourself and the Creator in order to function as the I am this and you are that, me versus you identity, and carry out specific lessons that otherwise couldn't be understood with the sense of absolute oneness. On the evolutionary cycle of consciousness, in order to ascend into fourth density, you have to make a defining decision to devote yourself to being of a service to others or explore this universe as a service to self being. Service to self is what you'd call a very selfish person. Those who only think for themselves and have a very dominant attitude toward others. A service to others being are those who are delighted to share what they have, including joy, compassion, and love. Those that put others before themselves and strive for the greater good. Both of these are allowed by the Creator, and it is up to you and your free will to make the ultimate decision. And now to the final category for this video is the massive shift in consciousness that will be taking place. This may be hard to believe, but if you've watched this video up until here and have been able to digest at least most of it, it means you were hand-chosen by the energy to awaken yourself and others. You are a very special existence in that you can recognize truth and discern yourself from the hive mind mentality. You are smart, brave, and powerful, and I'm glad we have each other during these difficult times. If you feel you've graduated from third into fourth density by practicing and becoming a more loving, understanding, and compassionate entity, you will be ready to embark on one of the most historical events to ever take place for the human race. We will be graduating into fifth density. In the fifth, we will be able to do things like fly, speak telepathically, be anywhere at any time by mere thought alone. If you've looked into astral projection, many astral travelers talk about how there will be almost no difference between what you can do in the astral realm and your waking reality. For those who are still in the lessons of third density and learning self-awareness, you will be taken to a nearby star, much like Earth, to continue your lessons there and help rebuild a new human civilization. Those that are of second density up to fourth, that have chosen the service to self path of selfishness, greed, and power, much like the elite, will be left on Earth while it undergoes its rebirth phase of solar flashes and massive floods. Luckily for you and I, we will have our light bodies activated and be more in alignment with spirits than anything physical. If you are a Christian, you can read about this in Matthew chapter 13, verses 36 through 49. The good of humanity will be entering a brand new golden age, in which all thoughts and lessons are oriented toward a loving nature filled with wisdom and prosperity. But listen, this path must be earned. Once you devote yourself to the Ascension path, you cannot cause any suffering to another entity, including animals. You must surround yourself with that which is love and light, and begin radiating this divine beacon. I know this is a lot to take in. I want you to know that all of this information can be researched on your own time, and you can draw your own ideas. But for now, ask yourself if there is something within you longing for more. Something you can't quite think of, but your heart is dying to have it. Those were the exact feelings I had before I had my awakening. Use that emotion to drive you to discover your own truths. And if you're a spiritual nut like me, and this video helped you understand the Ascension process a little more, then please hit the like and subscribe button for more weekly metaphysical videos. You can follow me and get in contact with me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. All links in the video description below. And please be sure to tune in next week for a video on how to love yourself. I hope you all have an amazing day or night. All the love, all the peace.